Okay.
We are live.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Namaskar. Chai Pe Charcha with His Excellency Ambassador Akhilesh Mishra. I think what a pleasure it is to be here. It's indeed a matter of privilege and honor for TIE and me personally to have the august presence of His Excellency Mr. Akhilesh Mishra, Ambassador of India to Ireland amongst us today. Coming from the holy city of Varanasi, Ambassador Mishra topped and secured gold medal while finishing his formal education from the Indian Institute of Technology, Banaras Hindu University. As a prestigious, renowned, and respected Foreign Service officer, he has done a remarkable job in maintaining and further strengthening India's diplomatic relations during his various assignments in Peru, Italy, USA, Canada, ICCR, and Maldives, to name a few. Ambassador Mishra speaks Spanish, Italian, and Nepalese, and knows Hindi and Sanskrit, besides, of course, English. Besides international affairs, Mr. Mishra has keen interest in Indian culture, Indian philosophy, Sanskrit, yoga, and meditation. So what an opportunity we have to move forward. We at TIE would like to extend our best wishes to Ambassador Mishra for his upcoming assignment as the Ambassador of India to Ireland, which he will be taking up soon. India and Ireland have always had and maintained fruitful relations for ages. And we feel that there is an opportunity which is waiting for travel trade of both the countries post-pandemic to be worked upon and exploited for mutual growth and benefit. Be it celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi or 550th anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Both the countries are so close, yet far in terms of expansion of tourism and travel trade. TIE, I believe, could be a helping hand to take things forward. For instance, it can support students who are looking at Ireland as a favorable destination for their studies, with presence of Indian IT and pharmaceutical companies and a well-established Indian diaspora. Travel trade would always act as a facilitator of bilateral growth and development. Also, direct flights between India and Ireland is yet to start, though there has been a MOU since many, many years. And we believe that travel fraternity, especially TIE, can play a very pivotal role in facilitating bookings and other matters once it starts. Without taking much time, because we both of us have discussed many opportunities in our meeting earlier, and I would like to have the TIE members' inputs to see how we can take this forward, and that is why we held this webinar. And I would also like, we'll all, of course, would like to hear the views of Ambassador Mishra and look forward to share our works on modalities and how to make strategic partnerships with the Indian Embassy and the business community of Ireland with His Excellency's support. Before I hand over the platform to Ambassador Mishra, I'll just like to quickly introduce the TIE office bearers team, which is here on the virtual platform. Rest are all hearing us. Questions will come in on the chat. We will take them forward with His Excellency to see how the best they can be answered. Any question that is left beyond our time, we will still take the reverts from him and answer him. And of course, we'll put it on a document and send him also so that, you know, we don't lag behind once he reaches Ireland. We don't want him to forget us, you know. So just starting from my left, I don't know if it's your left or not, His Excellency. On the left is Mr. Jay Bhatia. I think Jay can just put up, yes, that's it. He's the Vice President of the Travel Agents Association of India. Then we have our Honorary Secretary General, Bhataya Lokesh. He's from Karnataka, Jay is from Mumbai. And then I have the Honorary Treasurer, Sriram Patel, who's based in Gujarat. Of course, on my right is Dr. Himanshu Talwar, who's our Executive Director, who has been in touch with you. Yes. And just to quickly say, before I give you the floor, that TIE, as I've already introduced you, is the oldest and the nodal body of India and amongst all associations. We were established in 1951. And we are the mother of all associations, and our members work under different spectras of, of tourism. It could be medical, it could be education, it could be vice, it could be leisure, it could be pleasure, it could be adventure, it could be wellness. So there's no stream that our members are not associated with. Of course, we are the most, all of us are all recognized IATA agents, which is needing for ticketing to ticket on, especially on the international airlines, the full service carriers. And that is how I say that, because I think we are a voice, and with a voice added in Ireland, I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of things more going forward. So not taking more of the time in our words only, I'll just request His Excellency Mishra to please take the floor. Just introduce Ireland and your previous postings and what all has been possible and what you are looking forward to from us as a fraternity. Thank you and welcome once again. It's a pleasure to have you amongst us.
Namaskar, friends. First of all, I must thank Jyoti ji and her very dynamic, visionary leadership of TIE and all esteemed colleagues from TIE who are participating in this program at a very short notice. I'm really grateful to Jyoti ji, you for arranging this, and all esteemed friends for sparing time, because next week I'm leaving for Ireland on 5th of October. I'm leaving. And I think it's important for friends like you and thought leaders, pioneers like you to understand Ireland in terms of a new strategy that I'm contemplating and working on. India and Ireland have had very close historical ties. The freedom struggles of India and Ireland had parallels. And after independence, India and Ireland both recognized each other in 1947. We opened our mission in Ireland in 1951. Ireland opened its embassy in Delhi in 1964. It is important to note that Ireland opened its embassy in Delhi before they did it for China or Japan or even Russia. In terms of the political goodwill that we enjoyed, was really remarkable. But over the year, like somehow our focus remained in Europe on UK. And in the process, I'm being very candid with friends like you, that we have not seriously engaged Ireland. I think I'm going at a time which gives me a historic opportunity to revamp, restructure, and redo the approach to Ireland. Because after Brexit, Britain is no longer member of a European Union, and Ireland is the only English-speaking member of the European Union. So I think and also unlike UK, with Ireland, we have no issues, no historical baggage, no complex colonial issues of colonial period. So I think with Ireland, we have a historic opportunity to reinvent the strengths of our two countries and build on them a really strong strategic partnership. And I'm working on a strategy to make our relationship broader. Besides the G2G political dialogue and exchanges, the economic dimension, the education dimension, the cultural dimension, I have last 1.5 months, I have been meeting a lot of people and doing brainstorming from my side. And the area that you friends are engaged in is of utmost importance and highest priority for me, because tourism, as you know best, is not like any other business. It is a catalyst for every sector of engagement. And also it impacts and influences people directly and shapes the public opinion. Therefore, tourism for me is a very, very special, very important area for me to focus for building a foundation of a strong, broad-based bilateral relationship. And India and Ireland have good attraction for each other. Currently, we have both ways. It's around 40 to 50,000 tourists coming and going from both countries. I think based on my own experience of 32 years in Indian diplomatic service, I think for collectively, I think it's a time has come to adopt a different approach with regard to promotion of tourism, particularly with developed countries. First of all, my thinking is that we have to shift from the primarily diaspora-centric approach. If you look at only Ireland, Ireland has about 45,000 diaspora, both PIOs and NRIs. Whereas if you look at Ireland, it has 5 million people. So who should be the target? I would encourage that, and Ireland's per capita income is 100,000, roughly about $98,000, $100,000 per year. So if we focus rather than on the Indian diaspora, if we focus on the mainstream Ireland population for attracting tourism, then the game will change. Second request is that we don't have to be obsessed with numbers. We have to focus on the quality of tourists that we get. Both in terms of inbound and outbound, we have to aim high and engage the most influential, most quality conscious, most highest end travelers. I can share with you that I was ambassador in Maldives. You know, Maldives is only a very small country, 400,000 people, and logistically it's a nightmare because there are 1,200 islands. It does not produce anything except fish and coconut. Everything has to be imported. But I felt so inspired that a country which has such daunting challenges can attract the best in the world. So complicated to maintain inventory, so complicated to maintain the manpower pool with different skills. If Maldives can do it and get the Bollywood superstars, Hollywood superstars, mega sports stars, and all, and get $12,000, $15,000, $30,000 per day, I'm sure we also can use similar promotional approaches. So I am very, very keen that let us work together to engage and attract the highest paying, most quality conscious travelers of Ireland. Thirdly, friends, tourism sectors, even in the tourism sector, I have, like in many countries, including in Toronto and San Francisco and Rome, worked very closely with the tourism sector, government of India tourist offices, and had many road shows, participated in many road shows. None of them have been really successful to my satisfaction. I would like to, that's why I'm working and troubling Jyoti for this interaction, that I want to start working from the day one to reach out to the most influential, topmost people in Ireland in the tourism sector. And similarly, if Jyoti Tai can help me put together a similar, very energetic, dynamic, committed, high profile, ambitious players on the Indian side. So that is the segment that will, if I'll connect both sides and facilitate interaction and meetings, and that will change the narrative. So even in terms of B2B linkage, I do not want the lowest end and $10 and $15 haggling people to be targeted, wasting our time. They can come or not come or whatever. But as far if India's brand has to be built, then it has to be through the connection of the real professional highest end players on both sides. And this is one area I would very much like to work together with you all as one team. One area also I had mentioned to Jyoti ji that Ireland and India currently do not have direct flight connection. I sincerely believe that Ireland being a mega hub of aviation, in leasing about 40%, around 40-50% of aircrafts which are leased worldwide are operated from Ireland. And also Ireland is a mega hub for financing and the financial packaging and also MRO industry. I sincerely believe that if we are proactive and creative in thinking, till the normal commercial flights start, there's a chicken and egg that they say there is no traffic, and there is no traffic because there is no flight connection. I think we can start with chartered flights. Again, I'm building this on this argument on my first-hand experience of what I saw in Maldives. Maldives and China a few years ago had no flight connection. What they did, like normal commercial, normal big flights, and they, instead of operating on a scheduled manner, they started operating them as and when there was enough traffic. Uh, and that created a momentum, and now there are maybe 12, 13 cities in China which are connected with Maldives, and there's a very vibrant interaction. I think I would like to explore this option as well. Okay, if we can think of a normal commercial charter in which maybe 100, 200, or 300 passengers can come as and when we are building the demand. In India, unfortunately, we do not. I don't think we have the culture of chartered flights. Chartered flights are mainly used for family transportation. Okay, like Reliance or others, so they are using for their personal transportation rather than a real commercial exchange. So I would invite, if Jyoti ji can identify some players on your side who would be interested in exploring the chartered option, like if we can have twice a week or thrice a week or once a week, but let us see if we can sustain it, and that will create a momentum that will lead more flights to be commercially operated. So just tourism through chartered flights, point to point, that will also help us tailoring our strategy to attract the highest end tourist travelers. Like if you want to bring to Bodh Gaya, you want to bring them to Goa, then you don't have to make a lot of transitions. You can have point-to-point charter and then bring all of them depending on their areas of interest. Friends, I know that to implement that kind of ambitious strategy, we need a targeted segment-wise promotional strategy. Jyoti ji mentioned in her initial remarks that India is so rich that it can offer everything. It's a heritage and culture and adventure and ecotourism and spirituality, yoga and Ayurveda, wellness. So you have everything. We have to develop a sharper sector-wise, segment-wise strategy for promoting each one in the highest rung of travelers. I feel that if, for example, if you want to build a delegation of people who want to promote high-end heritage hotels, just focusing on highest end heritage hotels. Similarly, the promotion of spirituality, wellness, mental peace, because the richer the country, richer the family, more stress it is. So the spirituality, peace and tranquility and peace of mind, we can build an interesting cultural narrative to attract the richest but highest stress people.
Absolutely.
But this will not happen with the normal Government of India Tourist Office roadshow. We need people like Himanshu ji and Jay Bhatia ji and Jyoti ji to Sri Ram ji to think like in terms of we have to do it. There is no other option. Unless we have that kind of commitment, and khana puri se to nahi hoga ye. And also I feel Jyoti ji has inspired me. I need more women tourists from Ireland to come to India.
Yes.
If a women group comes to India and successfully completes, enjoys, and they go back, then it will create a huge amount of goodwill for India. And there are a lot of misperceptions about India, particularly after Nirbhaya. So I think if we can actively promote women delegations, women tourists to come to India and taken care of by great visionary leaders like Jyoti ji and Jyoti, like they will feel comfort. That can be again a game changer for India's reputation as a safe, secure, women-friendly tourist. So if we plan the package thoughtfully, with affection, with meticulous planning, and ensure that the group comes here, enjoys and learns as much as they can, and go back, and that will create a narrative. We have to give special attention to attracting influential women travelers. Also, I would really welcome if, like Jyoti ji, I believe you are also head of the women in travel and tourism industry. So again, if we can get a delegation of women entrepreneurs in tourism sector, so that itself will be a brand promotion for India. The women entrepreneurship, particularly in tourism, is again a niche area that I would like Irish people to be exposed to. And also, India as a very rich, culturally very diverse. Ireland is almost 100% Christian country, predominantly Catholic, and if you can help me create a package tour of historical churches, maybe 7 days, 8 days, or 10 days kind of itinerary, which exposes the potential high-end faithful, devout Christian travelers to see the India's glorious, great heritage. We have not explored it so far. So if you can help me, like, create a package which I can sell and talk about to my friends in Ireland, I think that will also be helpful. Besides the yoga and Ayurveda and Indian traditional monuments, if we can actively brand the Christian heritage of India, particularly the Catholic Christianity in India, which is quite ancient and quite rich. So I think that is one niche area we have completely ignored, and with your help, we can tap it. Yeah, so I'll end here. And once again, my very sincere thanks to Jyoti ji and all the esteemed colleagues from TiE who have spared time at a very short notice. I'm so happy to connect face to face with you and have my virtual tea.
Yes, I was just going to say that. I think we'll just take a break and have our tea. All of us, cheers to this. The chai pe charcha hamari ho rahi hai, aur bahut achhi ho rahi hai, and we need to work that. And I saw the dynamism in you again. Of course, I've seen it earlier. It's not that I'm seeing it for the first time. But with your views, I think we can start another stream of tourism, absolutely, in our association. But yes, I don't want to repeat all what you have said, because I think it's been very educative even for us. Look, hearing you speak, and I think branding is the first thing which we need to take it very forward. Because especially after post-COVID, I think we need to rebrand ourselves. How we do it by saying, TiE Ireland, let's TiE Ireland. How we do that, we need to do that, and we'll of course send you things. But not, I would love my office colleagues, because rest are all hearing us, because we have a lot of members who are hearing us, but we on the panel are here. I would request all my colleagues, starting from anyone, please come in, so that, you know, it's a chai pe charcha. There's no formal talk, it's a casual talk. We need to exchange ideas and see how we can develop, and knowing His Excellency's viewpoints and knowing him since all his ability, I think we can do a lot. And we should strengthen amongst ourselves both the destinations. So please come in, office bearers. Anyone would like to come in, please.
Thank you, Jyoti, if I may. Your Excellency, thank you so much. And you know, we had all planned to say a few things on the development of tourism, but आपने सारे points cover कर लिए हैं. तो हमको तो ये थोड़ा मुश्किल पड़ रहा है कि additional points कहाँ से लाएं, because all of us are very eager to promote India, you know, to the Irish. And but sir, main hai to, you know, if we can work towards some visa-free regime for Irish coming to India specifically, तो उसमें काफी फर्क पड़ जाएगा, because you know the nation over there, I mean, we have the advantage of going to Ireland if we hold UK visas and vice versa. So you know, if something like a visa-free regime or the e-visa that we are going to start, and we are offering free till 31st of March. So agar, you know, that we can extend to the Irish people, and especially to, you know, since you already mentioned there is 40,000 approximately Indian diaspora who's there, including the last PM also who was the Indian origin, you know. So that has already boosted travel relationship between tourism between India and Ireland, both ways. So on a bilateral basis. So if we can do that, and definitely we'll suggest to you and we'll forward to you details on festivals, on culinary food and everything that we require to promote for them to come into India.
Yes. Yes.
But even when you are there, if you can connect us also for the outbound from India to Ireland, that is also going to help a lot. I mean, my colleagues will talk more about it, but specifically Ireland is known for self drives. अभी इंडिया में भी सेल्फ ड्राइव शुरू हो गया है. हाँ ठीक है, उनको तो बहुत मुश्किल पड़ेगा इंडिया में ड्राइव करने, बट या it's going to help a lot. But we can start promoting self drives, caravan packages in India. That is what Irish people want. It's going to be totally different. It is going to be a nightmare for them, but we have to start with such people where we're going to say that even we have similar activities. They have a lot of activities based on water, history, castles. We also have our heritage havelis, palaces, everything. So a castle to a palace is something similar but different.
Yes.
The historical angle to it is completely different to a castle and a palace. So we need to explain that to them, make showcase presentations, and like how they also have MICE events that they have in the castle. Similarly, even we can do multiple things for them. There are many sporting activities. There are MICE activities that we can do. Especially Indian festivals. So after going there, if you can give us a feedback, what is the Indian festivities that they like? There are hardly a few 8 to 10 Indian restaurants in Ireland. So, lot of people throng those restaurants. Local people visit those restaurants. So we can ensure that we have some kind of Indian company also who sets up more restaurants, hotels, there. So that will help a lot of develop that tourism to India by having a unit there in Ireland. So apart from tourism, I think economic growth is also very important, जो हमें देखना है overall between the two countries. तो इसी को लेके आगे, we are very enthusiastic, we are very confident, and we're going to take it forward accordingly.
Right, Jayji, I must thank you. You raised very, very important points, and all, as you said, like all the points that you mentioned are also on my thought. As far as visa is concerned, the government of India has already unilaterally offered e-visa. Ireland gets e-visa, so they don't have to come to the consulate and to the embassy. They can apply online. So as far as visa issue is concerned, I think that is past. So there is no longer
free visa regime.
उनको छोड़ दीजिए, वो free visa वो मेरे और आपके उसके बाहर है, because Ireland is part of European Union. So they will have difficulty in giving a visa-free regime, and also the disparity in population, 5 million and 1.4 billion. So visa-free regime, I'm not anticipating. Within my approach is that let us recognize the hard roads that we have and the hard walls that we have around us, and move accordingly. To visa regime, as far as India is concerned, we have made it electronic visa. All the hassles of coming to the embassy are over. Ireland, as you know, they have also, after post-COVID, they have recognized Covishield, and travelers who have 2 doses can travel without quarantine. And also they have UK and Ireland combined visa. If you get one, then you can travel to 2 countries. So as far as visa is concerned, I think existing regime is okay. I would encourage my Irish colleagues to process it more promptly. If they can, currently they take maybe 20 days or 25 days. If they can speed it up and make it more predictable, that will help. And that will be my agenda, to make their Irish visa process as shorter as possible. That is one thing. As far as events are concerned, so I'm yet to go to Ireland. Once I go and start, that will be my priority. Like meeting the tourism sector players of Ireland will be my very high priority. So based on their inputs, I will naturally keep in touch with you and give you feedback, and we'll work together a joint action plan what to do. And as far as the promotion is concerned, investment of Indian food, again, I see there's a good opportunity, both in terms of hotels. I'm not sure whether there is any Indian hotel chain in Ireland. Also, restaurants are there, but there is always scope for more. And Ireland, as you know, has lowest corporate tax regime in entire Europe, including North America. It's only 12.5%. And also their investment regime is extremely friendly. And that is why out of 10 biggest IT and software companies, 9 are headquartered in Ireland. Also, 9 out of 10 biggest pharmaceutical companies are headquartered in Ireland. Absolutely. 23 out of 25 medical technology, medical devices companies in the world are headquartered in Ireland. Ireland's investment worthiness and attractiveness is extremely high. So I would encourage, like you may not be directly involved, but if through your contact circle, if there are Indian businessmen who are seeking opportunities to invest abroad, then please don't hesitate to connect them to me. Right? And I'll be very happy to support and guide and mentor whatever I can.
Yeah, absolutely true. I agree with you totally, because IT, pharmaceutical are big things. I think even universities is another thing.
Exactly.
They are looking at, because school interchange of schools, colleges, students is a lot which is into the mind even of the Irish people. And I think they are trying, we would love them that they come and even set up universities here, because more the children start studying, more families will start traveling, and it will start moving up. So of course, you need to invest in each other's countries for the business to grow always, because that's one sector which never goes away. And leisure is the thing which we've been talking about. It has to be business with leisure. Who's there? Shri, Jay, Lokesh?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes.
Your Excellency, first of all, we wish you the very best on taking over as Indian ambassador in Ireland. And I am more happy after I heard you that you are not looking at the low end of the traffic to be promoted between the two countries, but you are looking at the high end thing, and you are going to the right place, because Ireland is home to more than 400 golf courses. And golf tourism is something which India and Ireland have never tapped the potential to its maximum potential. And we as TIE, we have a special set of people who are well versed and experienced in this sector of the tourism. And we will definitely connect with you, sir, and we will ensure that the top golfers from Ireland will come to India and play and experience the world-class golf courses here. And we will take golfing. We are going to take the golfing community from here to Ireland. And once we have this exchange thing, then I'm sure this will take off in a big way. All this while we were not taking it very seriously. COVID has taught us, and golf was the first sector which which recovered after COVID, and it is thriving well in India now. Golf courses are open, and people are traveling everywhere to play golf. And this is the segment which we need to tap, because with you we will definitely be in touch, sir, and through Jyoti ma'am, and we will take it forward from there, sir.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. It's a great idea. This I have not thought about. I think golf tourism could be again a niche area which can brand India and also create a lot of wealth.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Yes. So there are a lot of opportunities going forward, what we can indulge in, because we see that, COVID, post-COVID, our thought processes have changed totally. And even for the people who have a lot of money in India or outside are wanting to go to places where the correct protocols are there. So I think that's the first thing we need to go and work upon. Like we said about branding, it will carry all the branding and what all we can do in India for them. And, that's the only way we can progress. And of course, for that, like Jay said, we do need to connect with the travel trade there so that we have the best people to work with both sides, and we can actually build it up together, being resilient. We are a resilient industry. So I'm surely we will recover. And Ireland is, they've hardly had any cases. So I'm sure it will be more open to Indians when traveling. But I always say we are our own ambassadors when we travel. Absolutely. Because we only talk about India. Absolutely. So even if we come to Ireland, I'm sure they will be inclined to come back, because they'll see us and they will see us coming in, and we keep moving on that. So of course, someone is also asking the same question, that can you think of organizing a meeting with the serious tourism stakeholders? Yes, I think we will. We look forward for you to, you've already started working actually. So it's like one of my colleagues was saying before I joined in, अभी उन्होंने join तो किया नहीं है, तो हम क्या बात करेंगे? ऐसा don't worry, वो join करने से पहले ही तैयार हैं एकदम काम करने के लिए. So that is what it is, and I know you are all ready to reach there and start immediately. I don't know, I wouldn't say even before landing, but even actually from day one, effectively. And I know it's going to be very, very effective. So yes, we do need a connect there. Any more questions coming up, Jay?
Yeah, in fact, apart from the the golf tourism, we have a very interesting question that has come up on the whiskey trails also, sir. Whiskey trail bhi we have to ensure that हमारे लोग भी whiskey trail पे जाएं, and to ensure that how would the Indian Embassy also be able to assist us, Indian tour operators, in organizing golf tours in Ireland, or this whiskey trails or something like that. So I think what we discussed earlier, connecting us with the local diaspora and the local tourism board for bilateral tourism. I think that is more. Also, in fact, India में भी हमारे पास we have the Ireland tourism representation in India, so we are regularly in connect with them. But since your presence is going to help us a lot, that will we need to take your assistance to move forward on this.
You can count on me as part of your team and share with me your ideas, and whatever I can do, please rest assured I will do it. Because taking Indian tourism to the great heights that it deserves, it merits. I think that is my huge interest and ambition.
Thank you.
And also, as you mentioned, like whiskey trail or golf tourism or something similar, or heritage hotels. So we need also something catchy to like create a buzz in social media, and eye-catching slogans and packages, which will help create greater awareness about our potential.
Absolutely.
So this is like whiskey trail. Although I'm a teetotaler, but I'll be very happy to help you.
We'll have Irish coffee. Yeah. We'll have Irish coffee with a dash of.
No, and also in like Indian beverages also. In Indian, I'm told that in alcohol sector also we are doing quite well, so we can do something similar there also, or also our tea and coffee. So we can have we can build some interesting storyline.
So as a matter of fact, while you were talking, it just comes into my mind. I think we should, once you reach there, I think we should plan one grand event for actually focusing on how the Irish people would like to come here.
Yes.
Maybe we could pick up one festival or something like that and make it like the Irish week or the Irish same thing.
Great.
And let's do that between both the countries.
Yes.
So TIE becomes a partner to do it there in Ireland for them, and then we bring them to India and do it there. So if we announce it in your tenure that we are going to, it could be established for year on year. And we could keep having that inter-exchange. It could be just 100 people, 200 people.
Yes.
But then when we bring them as hosted buyers, we can show them across India. And once we go there, they can show us across Ireland.
You are
that's
great.
Something we should build on.
You said you are great, and you inspire us. Please rest assured that we'll work very hard to.
Yes, I think we just need to keep thinking out of the box to create this link between countries and stop. सबको एक ही में भेड़ बकरियों जैसे ना डालें, उनको अलग-अलग ब्रेक करके उनको अच्छी तरह उनको शोकेस करें कि हम आप ही हमारी मार्केट हो और वो कहें कि इंडिया हमारी मार्केट है. When you give importance to someone, your relationships always grow much more.
Absolutely.
So I think that is what we need to do. Going forward.
Thoughtfully हमको तैयारी करनी चाहिए.
बिल्कुल.
नॉर्मल जो कहना नहीं चाहिए, लेकिन जो नॉर्मल तरीके से हम 50-60 साल से प्रमोशन कर रहे हैं वो इफेक्टिव नहीं है.
नहीं.
और
उसका मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ, we need to learn from our mistakes now.
तो वो दुख हमको देता है कि इतनी बड़ी कंट्री, इतनी रिच कंट्री, और हमारा
I know. We have to learn from our past and
so हम पीछे की बात नहीं सोचते हैं, लेकिन आने वाले टाइम के लिए we need a small team. कि ऐसे आप लोग जो है, I think that is a big enough team to make the difference.
We are a big enough team to make a difference.
Absolutely.
I say that very proudly, actually, because I've seen that how we worked in this COVID time, and we've actually evolved and come up with the best ideas, I think, and where we have been appreciated. Thank you for appreciating us again. But yes,
and also when I reach there, then I would like to send some really key opinion makers, influencers.
Yes.
And I do not want to go to Ministry of Tourism for their. So अगर आप टाई हमको help कर दे कि I'll be very selective and very judicious in imposing on you. But if you can help us in hosting or maybe if need be inviting some really key people who can change the perception of India or influence the public opinion. So I'll need your help in terms of
sure.
if I can host them.
Bilkul, we will do these things because it will be done on a mutual base. So we are happy to do that, and we will. I mean, I know for inbound, at least we know the Commerce Ministry works very closely with us. They would also love to have footfalls of foreign people coming in. So,
bilkul. And from my side, personally, I can make an offer to you that if you have either inbound or outbound, like we have Irish high-end travelers coming to India, and if you let me know, then I'll be very happy to host maybe a lunch or a dinner or a briefing session with them, or if they want something like if there's a big CEO coming and he's coming for tourism, and if he needs help in reaching out to some minister or reaching out to some secretary or some special area of interest, then I can also add value there. So depending on your advice, I can do some event in Dublin also for giving them the comfort and support. Similarly, if you have important people from India visiting Dublin and they need some kind of briefing on opportunities on Ireland and any kind of other support, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, of course, we have to work together towards only, then only we'll achieve something.
Yeah.
We'll have to clap together to see that we achieve it all.
Yes.
Jay, any more questions that have come in?
I think Himanshu, Sri, any more questions?
Yeah. There is something from Paras here. This positive dialogue with Mr. Mishra and the opportunity of increasing mutual movement of tourism both ways can be extensively planned and marketed. It shall surely help in increasing tourism both ways. Paras is a management committee member, sir. उन्होंने ये लिख के भेजा आपके लिए. So it's nice to see that, you know, all our members who are listening to us today, and especially our management committee members and chairpersons, like I've told you earlier, we are 20 region chapters. So we have a huge contingent of people who are interested with new ways and new avenues to move forward. Yes, Himanshu, do you have anything else to ask him or suggest? Because इतना वो extensive, उन्होंने खुद ही इतना extensive दे दिया कि I think सब अपने thoughts अपने पास ही रख लिए उन्होंने कि हम अब और क्या बोलें.
Sir has addressed more or less everything. Yes.
Yes, exactly. And we can see where his experience is coming up from so many countries, and his very open, dynamic friendliness, which comes across when you talk to him anyway, always. And I think you'll be really an asset sitting there, and for the travel and tourism industry, of course, beyond our industry also. But that will also be, like always says, infrastructure hota hai, to hamara tourism badhta hai. So it's always a link for the entire value chain, and I'm sure we will drive the value while we have your tenure there. And maybe you will certainly leave something for the people who come follow in your footsteps, you know, that they will take it forward. So I think it's very nice of you to connect. Anyone else? Jay, Lokesh, Sri, would like to add on?
Sir has said everything. So, you know, any opportunity that you would be extending to TiE, we are most welcome to accept these opportunities, and any guidance that you want to give us for something promotion, some new ideas of promoting tourism in Ireland that you get to understand. We are ready to take those up also. And I mean, please feel free to connect with us at all times. You have our contacts and everything, and we want to help and assist you to develop the country more.
Thank you. Thank you. Very kind of you. And as I mentioned earlier, that while I'm working on education, working on startups, working on IT and pharma and medical technologies, I consider tourism as the most important, because that is the foundation which changes the perception of people. So this is catalyst for everything else that I'm going to do. And therefore,
anybody coming to Ireland and anybody coming from Ireland will have to connect with the travel agent, the TiE members.
Absolutely. So
we are going to be the intermediary at all times.
Yeah. And also, what kind of experience, either way, coming Indian going to Ireland or Irish people coming to India, what experience they have. If they have a positive memory, then becomes a good narrative for us. And it helps in every sector. So this is, so I'm going to have very high importance and priority attached to TiE and tourism sector. We will definitely work together very closely. And also through your platform, I'm extending my very heartfelt greetings and invitation to all your members to not hesitate in contacting me If there's anything, any manner I can assist them, advise them, guide them, I'll be privileged. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure once again talking to you. Of course, I'm going to still meet you before you leave. And you have a good trip, have a safe trip, settle down well, and we wish you success and success to live forever for people who are going to take your shoes in every field wherever they go.
Thank you.
Thank
We are
you
working
for joining in. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you. We are all working as one team for India.
Absolutely, we are one team. आपके साथ तो बिल्कुल ही ऐसा ही लगता है कि आप ही हमारी टीम है. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you.